Welcome to another Numismatic Notes with Benjamin. I am Benjamin, and today I'm going to share with you a complete set of specimens from the nation of Swaziland, a nation that no longer exists because the king, feeling like we were confusing Swaziland with Switzerland, changed the name of his nation to Eswatini. But this predates by a couple of decades the present king's decision to do so. And this series of specimens I'm going to share with you cause a lot of problem for people in numismatics who, it seems, have nothing better to do than to throw a fit and waste their time. Let me explain. This is a specimen note, and you can tell because it says specimen right here across the middle. And I believe on the back side of the note, you'll see that it also has specimen again across the back side. However, it does have serial numbers, which some specimens can have. And it does have a Maltese cross, and you can sometimes see stars for replacement notes, like the United States, for example, does them. Canada did them. But this Maltese cross and the serial number indicates that this series of specimens was actually a product issued by the former Franklin Mint. And I remember when they advertised these notes on TV, and for $19.95 a month, they would send you a complete set of a nation's banknotes, and they were all numbered in the same way, and they were issued on behalf of the Franklin Mint for sets, but they were all printed by the original printer of the banknotes, in this case, Delarue. So the people who are, bougie banknote collectors throw a fit because they're like, these aren't really specimen notes because specimens are blah, blah, blah. But they're printed with the same plates as the specimen notes. They're the same plates and the same designs as the circulating notes, the same serial numbers. The only thing different is this prefix and the fact that some of those people are bougie and would hair lip the governor if they possibly could. Oh my God, they could talk the ear off a statue. And sometimes they may have some validity, but I don't hold any stock with that. There is no way I would have been able to have a complete set of Swaziland banknotes by type because they're just not available on the market. But I can because the specimen set exists, and that's what I want to share with you today. This predominantly red 1 Lilingeni is replete with things I would put on a banknote. While our king is not wearing a crown, he is wearing a couple of feathers that indicate his royal status, and on certain banknotes, those are shown in red. We have an elephant here, and we have some sort of building right over here. We have a shield, and we have a spear right over here. And I may be wrong, but I think Swaziland is the inheritor of the Zulu kingdom. So it is a country that is found in close proximity and maybe even completely surrounded by South Africa. The side of this note is a dance that the women of the ruling family perform every year for the monthly celebration for the king that they have in Swaziland. And this note has the reputation of being shocking here in the United States because most of the maidens here on the note are bare-chested. And so you can see everything from the waist up in all of its glory. And, the joke is that this was a ceremony where the king was choosing a new wife. No, you can tell by the red feathers that they were already part of the royal family, and a good number of them may already be wives of the king. And you can tell by those the red feathers that they're wearing in their hair. And, it's nothing more than the kingship ceremony and the women of the ruling family honoring the king. We're going to move to a brown to Imalangeni. Yep, the money changes name based on the denominations. So, 1 Lilingani, and then more than one would be a Imalangani, and then you have a Lamabili Imalangani, and I think that is how it changes. And here it was a Linya Lilingani, and now we have Lamabili Imalangani, and we have the same king in black print on a more brown red note, and on the back of this note we have a manufacturing company. Now what is different on this note is it's in red. Specimen is in red on both sides, and the serial number, just like the first note, is the same serial number, 03412 03412. So kind of a neat 1 and 2 Lingeni. Here is a 5, and it is a Lasilani Imalangani. and this is a red specimen as well. You see the Maltese cross and you see the serial number that puts this all together as a set. Pretty much spear over here, shield's missing. And on the back of this note, we have a nature scene. And if this is truly what Swaziland looks like, then Swaziland is definitely on my bucket list. What beautiful nature to be able to see. On a predominantly green note, moving to a 10, or a Lalishumi Imalingini, we have another specimen note, same serial number. We have the same Maltese. We have a different color theme scheme for this note. We have a more blue king over here and more of a walking staff instead of a spear. And when you turn this note over, you have another manufacturing scene inside of Swaziland. And the final note in this group of specimen notes of Swaziland is a kind of purple, brown, and green. It's kind of a pretty note, even though it doesn't sound like it would be. This one is also a red specimen, and it has the same serial number. Maltese cross. The king is in more of a red-brown, and over here we have a different kind of stick. And on the back, we actually have fruits, vegetables, and animals of Swaziland. We have some cattle here, so that's a theme. We have some pineapples, so that's a theme. Looks like cotton, which is the theme I've done. Here's some corn, and it looks like maybe some sort of fruit trees, maybe apples or perhaps oranges on this note. But a beautiful set of specimen notes, and you can't easily find banknotes of Swaziland in some of these earlier series. And if you come across a specimen set like this, don't feel bad about buying it. People are always going to have to kvetch about something, and some people will complain if their ice cream is cold. I'm just happy that I have this banknote set in my collection. If you haven't decided to click like, please do so, and cuss and discuss with me. Are these really specimens? Should these really count? And we'll have the conversation out there for everybody. If you can add productively to it, even better. Let's go ahead and let's have a jewel of a day. I am Benjamin, and this has been Numismatic Notes with Benjamin.